Hello, friends, and welcome to the 14th GM prep stream. I'm tired today, because I had to get up at like 7 in the morning, and I haven't done that for a long time. So, it feels like the day has already been so long by comparison with usual. But anyway, I'm here. I'm here to prepare for tomorrow. Now, I don't know 100% tomorrow if I have Gabe playing or not. I'm not entirely sure. So there are some assumptions, some things we will need to consider based on that. But that's just fine. You know, we can work either way. Stuff I want to talk about today on our lovely stream is I want to talk about racing as a thing and speed mechanics, as well as I want to talk about modifying things. I know for sure that once they get that speeder, that Omni Brogbo is gonna wanna soup it up, as best they can. So we'll have to look into exactly how the hardpoint system works and stuff like that. But that's something I'm just trying to mental note remind myself, look into the hardpoint system, because Omni's gonna wanna mess with it. We've had one lovely racing team contribution on the Discord for enemy racers if they end up doing the speeder race, who I actually got to use some of, I think, or at least I did some Red Fog Raiders that were in fact riding swoop bikes. They might not be part of the Red Fog racing team. Has there been 2 new racing NPCs since then? I am behind. Admittedly, I am behind. I'll check it out. I'm sure they're also cool. I'm happy to hear that there are more that I haven't seen. So, stuff to talk about today, like I was saying. We have the racing stuff, and we have Star Destroyer stuff. There are sort of 2 avenues that are opening up at the moment. One is to pursue this race that they've promised Squeaker that they would throw. So, we got to think about the consequences of them not throwing it, but I think that's pretty obvious. The Red Fog Raiders will not be happy, and there will be some armored piggy massacre to come if they don't. And the Star Destroyer wise, we have several factions that know about it now, because we have the scavengers who are with like Bosuck and them, who want to work with our player characters to like scavenge the remains of the Star Destroyer. But we also have Utico now, having known the Sunderer is out there. And the reason Utico knows the Sunderer is out there is because our boy Kryno left his comms on when they were talking to Panakata about it. And so that information sort of got filtered back in a very like indirect sort of way. Thus all of the activity around the base, the Utico headquarters and so forth. Like the various movements that the player characters are seeing are them gearing up for a big expedition. So that's going on. We've also got the subplot of the Imperial droids, or the former Imperial droids, being roped into Utico service, specifically because we rolled Andrew's obligation, Mabel's obligation, last week, and that seemed like a good complication for them to have to care about their people, and that those people might be doing jobs that put them in danger, just generally. Is sort of like my thought with that. and it presents possible options going forward where, Unico orders might be to shoot at them, and what are they getting? It's a whole like, I'm putting people you care about on the other side of a conflict that you're involved in, sort of a thing. I never knew I needed Aabria as a space marine. Yeah. Honestly, I should probably get an overlay that's just like my face, but I hold out hope that my co-host Aabria will one day return to me. Special, dear to my heart, co-host Aabria. But right now you have co-host Scary Imperial Robot. Yeah. She's not here. But yeah, so that's the current situation as it stands. We need to figure out what it is they're gonna find at the Sunderer. Like, if Bouzak and the crew of scavengers, along with the player characters, if the player characters go first, what's the danger? I don't want to map out a Star Destroyer, because I don't think that is beneficial to us. I think we want to talk about what are they going to find there, like what kind of resources. We'll do a similar thing that we did with the Underground. Do a similar thing that we did with the Force Ruins. We'll do with the Sunderer, where we want some like general big points about like what is on the Sunderer and where it can be found and how dangerously is it, how dangerous is it to access, that kind of stuff. So what I'll do is I'll make a handout. We'll make it a quest handout. Make a handout, and we'll start noting down important Sunderer stuff. The Sunderer. Okay. Some stuff that we need to definitely note down are that I think we could have 5+ sections of Star Destroyer, and each one can have a couple of hazards, a couple of opportunities, and one main theme. Yeah, something like that. Like we do sort of like a general extrapolation of the space rather than getting into the sort of like specific weeds of like this hallway, that hallway kind of thing. So let's assume, let's do this the way that we're planning it. So I like Griffinane. I like your idea of like 5+ sections. So if we do like 5 sections, like section 1, like entrance, like through a rent in the hull or a tear in the hull. Tear in the hull leads into unpowered darkened corridors, sealed blast doors, in many of the hallways from the automated attempt to reduce the effects of explosive decompression. Some stuff like that. Entrance-wise, we're talking... Because Star Destroyer, like, if it doesn't have power, it basically has no functional windows either. So, like, light is going to be... It's going to be, like, flashlights. This is going to be, like... It's going to be, like, alien style if you want to go in there. And we'll have some sections of it that are still powered by whatever, like, residual power there is. But, like, it's going to be... It's going to be spooky, getting in there, I feel like. So what is the important thing that is close to the entrance? Like this section of the Star Destroyer, if you were like setting out the military application of the Star Destroyer, like what is close to this tear in the hull? And I'm assuming the Star Destroyer is at like a diagonal angle and like half of it is broke off, you know what I mean? There's just like, it's messed up. So like things are going to be in like weird situations where you sort of like walk up an elevator shaft, but you're walking along it, sort of thing, that kind of stuff. Should have some alien-style growth, fungus-looking wildlife. I mean, obviously we're gonna go like some small bioluminescence, slime slipper nests, and various overgrowth. Trying to think of what we have. Oh, let's maybe we use the Vodian Lisks. We haven't used the Lisks yet. Lisks have made a nest, or have made a den in the broken hallways, as it's a perfectly dark place, dark and damp place for them to hide. What other dangers could we throw into our first section? Yeah, let's throw in a leaking reactor. I like that idea. One room emitting sickly light. Leaking reactor with a few strange squid-like creatures seemingly attracted to it. There you go. I've put squids in. I know you're feeling the squid. Okay, so we've got like a general first section. I like it. If we were to move on to a second section, what are we thinking? Artificial gravity. I like it. Like artificial gravity malfunctions, changing the orientation of where folks are standing, making traversal difficult. Difficult. Flickering hall lights, flickering lights to go along with the gravity. Clearly, some power is making it into these halls and rooms. We need we need an armory or a barracks for sure. Droid repair parts or something we're definitely gonna wanna address. Maybe hangar stuff is also something we want to talk about. One of our sections is obviously gonna be like, you know, the command area. But I definitely think like a TIE hangar would be cool. Vast open space. Hangar of some vast open space hangar, ties, and ATSTs. I love it. Thrown haphazardly around the space as the ship crashed. Oh my god, yes! Chaotic Bastard, that's such a good idea! Giant hermit crab using one of the ATST cockpits as a shell. Definitely putting that one in there. Giant hermit crab How did it get in here? I mean, the hangar bay doors, obviously. I just think that's a great idea. So we need to mention, like, overgrowth, some strange churned dirt around the hangar entrance. Crab maybe dug in. Okay, let's go section 3. I'm just giving us a general overview of like what we're working on, right? A general overview of what we're looking at. If we're doing 5 sections, we've got an entrance, we've got like the hangar, we need an armory. What I'm thinking is traversal through this section is particularly difficult. Because of broken pipes, torn systems that vent horribly caustic acid and have melted several of the Dursteel bulkhead corridors. I don't think we need an R&D lab on a Star Destroyer. I don't think they need it. So we got horribly caustic acid having melted several of the Dursteel corridors. Armory is down this way, as well as droid maintenance bay. Lots of the weapons and gear are still intact. Plenty of repair parts, assuming there's some way to get them out. The medallion's gonna be in the command deck. My plan is to have it be on the body of a dead Sith Inquisitor, who has got a bunch of corpses around him, as if he was like killed by our friends, the Fog Wardens, when they were still stormtroopers, but managed to kill a whole bunch of them. So, plenty of repair parts, assuming there's some way to get them out. Lots of weapons and gear still intact. If they go with, like, Bozak and people, they might be able to get more out of this than going on their own. You know, if we're talking about, like, just what you can pocket, even carrying, like, 3 or 4 blaster rifles is, like, really annoying. You know? Like, kind of thing. So, I will keep them honest when it comes to the amount of stuff they pick up. Particularly difficult. Broken pipes, torn systems, armories in this way. Plenty of repair parts, assuming there's some way to get them out. Stormtroopers moving with a jerky, hesitant sort of motion, some sort of cordyceps, parasite controlling them. Maybe it's a leech bloom. I'm going to say ties and ATSTs and other assorted vehicles. Maybe even a Lambda shuttle. Because I love Lambda shuttles. Thrown about haphazardly in the hangar. The giant hermit crab. What did we write with Leech Bloom for the strange longing to find a secluded and suitable for mushroom growth area. Once they're alone, they'll fully transform into a Leech Bloom mushroom. Yeah, I think that we'll use this as the prompt for the weird cordyceps. Yeah, I like it, chaotic bastard. Okay. So we've got two brief section descriptions. Let's do section 4. Section 4. So we've got our armory, we've got our droid repair area. We also have our hangar with a giant hermit crab in it. We have our Lisk den and our broken reactor, or like leaking reactor with a few strange squids around it. Some Leech Bloom cordyceps. We need a 4th section, and then the 5th section will be the command area, I think. Like the bridge. The bridge and the captain's quarters will be in section 5. But section 4, maybe a communal area, something like a mess hall, or yeah, I was just thinking that, Raven. You and I are in the same headspace. So we'll say like mess hall / like barracks. Lots of small private rooms, and large bunk areas, as well as a cafeteria looking hall filled with metal chairs and tables. I'm gonna say strangely untouched, found behind a sealed bulkhead, or a sealed blast door. The lights are on. The air even feels like it's being filtered. Storeroom. Big ass food storeroom. Lots of army style rations that could be rehydrated. What threat can we put in here? There has to be some kind of, like, maybe like an automated defense system. Auto turrets are a great Star Wars thing to put around. I would do droids, but they're more likely to negotiate with a droid than almost anything else. Yeah, let's call it automated defense turrets. Imperial ID needed to bypass restriction. Yeah, this section, security still active. Or active. Alarms, door sealing happening as intruders pass through. I definitely think an automated system wouldn't, for instance, like the way I'm thinking about it is like an automated system would not fire at employees of the Star Destroyer, but an automated system would be active in case of insurgency, or in case of not insurgency, in case of in case of boarding, that kind of thing, right? But there has to be some way to discern that, and so like imperially identified people are not, or you know, whatever, are not targeted by the systems. But if you don't have like your name in the Imperial database somewhere, you know, the scanner scan your face and can't find you, and then begins firing. Which I think would be interesting, because I don't think an automated system would shoot at Mabel. Mabel is still Imperial ordinance, Imperial property. Okay. So, and if we do a section 5, this will be the bridge, as well as private quarters for all, for the captain and special guests, i.e. our Inquisitor. Yeah, I don't think disorderly conduct is necessarily tolerated on original poster, you know what I mean? It's just like it's not a good look. What if the captain's quarters got thermal detonated? It's just like a crater of a room. I'm definitely gonna say like hallways and rooms scarred with blaster fire, lots of scoring, and blackening on the various surfaces. Clearly a big fight here. Lots of bodies in varying states of decay. Captain's quarters has been what looks to be almost entirely erased. Escape pods are missing. The bridge itself is tilted at a like 45-degree angle, and gruesome sight. There wasn't any mercy for the people here. I'm trying to think if I want to put any sort of creature in the bridge, or I think we've got enough like stuff that I could throw it at them if I needed to. Many of the corpses are blooming some kind of weird mushroom or growth. The forward viewport is smashed completely open. Okay. I think that's fine. We should do special section. The Inquisitor's room. Clearly a whole bunch of stim troopers came to kill whoever was in here. And at great cost to themselves, managed to succeed. There are at least 10 or so corpses of stim troopers scattered in an almost circular pattern around the room. Crystallization. Visible and growing out from them. I do the old woman thing. I have lots of old ladies already on original. I mean, Keld is an old lady, like, you know. Rax is like probably 50, you know. We've got old ladies aplenty. We need something else. In the center, or in the center back of the room, a corpse of a human, a young human male is slumped against the wall, dressed entirely in black. In his hand, he clasps an amulet with a symbol. Class a stone amulet with a symbol of 3 strokes vertically down the surface. You're right, they would be skeletons. You're probably right. But I can change my descriptions. I'll be okay. Fungified, yeah. Clear from his clothing, he was shot about a dozen times. Oh, trying to take down Force users. So then there's stuff with the amulet. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff with like what is the effect when it is picked up, probably by Xyle, our ruins curious person. I think there needs to be there needs to be some sort of effect. Okay, so we got this stuff. I'm just going to move over here. We're going to save this. Boop. Like that. And then I want to probably do a handout for the amulet. No, don't show to players. There's nothing on it. Okay. So. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, touching the amulet, means, hearing the voice of Fode. Or the voices of Fode. Whether distinctly or indistinctly. The presence that pulled Exile in the Ruins would clearly reaches out again a great deal more strongly. Impresses upon them the value of the item in their hands and shows them a vision of the ruins as they were when they were functioning. The answer we'll need to have is, what does it do? When we bring it back and we plug it in, what does it do? What's the effect of starting the ruins again? Whatever their use was. I was definitely thinking like Vodian something, Vodian super something. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to I mean, Rafidane, that was one of my ideas for sure. The like launch something at a planet, make a new Vode, like spread the sort of like organism that is the living Vode. My hope is that this instance, this like placing the amulet in, is gonna result in our sort of like season, like our season ender. You know what I mean? I want to give them a reason to go off planet. I like the idea of like sending out a pulse and then getting answered moments later, yeah, by something out there. But we've suggested before that we don't want to use living Vodians. But yeah, this is a question I think we definitely need to think about. Activates the Vodian contingency plan to recover something that could restart the population. You think there's like a crash or something somewhere on another planet in the Vode system? Because, like, we're going to have to come up with more planets, too, chat. Surprise, surprise, once we get off of Vode. Recall their great Vode arc. Yeah. I kind of like that. Some kind of star map. Yeah. Astrogation map. When placed into the slot at the ruins, there's an astrogation map of the sector is displayed in strange colors. The voices suggest that it is a way to bring back the voting people. A series of crashes that could house seedlings or remnants of their culture. I mean, they give up their bodies when they die on original poster. They didn't give them up voluntarily. They just their civilization ended. Warns of great danger. But great purpose. Vague mentions of a weapon, just to give us sort of like a villain hook, you know, if we need one. The like, why would other people want to do this? Well, then the question is how it ended. Yeah, I mean, it's vague, for sure. Okay, well, I think that's good. That gives us kind of a plan moving forward. If nothing else, because like it's like I know that the players want to be good people. Acquire a charge of some sort as well. Yeah. Maybe it's some connection to like Vode. Like the living Vode. You know, like some kind of like force connection. Keep it as a relevant quest item means I'll conceal it, stuff like that, make it a MacGuffin. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the voices of Vode, maybe the collective of Vode, like listens to one who has the amulet as well. Maybe it goes both ways. You know, like you can hear them, but they will listen to you if you ask for something with a strong enough will. That makes all kinds of fun possible, because then if you have it, you could force the like growth tech that we've seen from the Vodians to like be cultivated by like nature itself. You could grow ships. You could grow weapons. You could, like you could do all that kind of stuff if you could get the planet to listen to you. You could use it to summon Driftfang. Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna say like the amulet is authority. Vode. The voices of Vode. Listen to the one who has it. Could be used for some really bad stuff creatively. It's the Vodalian. Exactly. Just wrapped up our Star Wars game, so it was natural. It was a great raid. Thank you. Nature Alone Dars. Nature Alone Dars. Appreciate it. Welcome. We're just writing our Doom item, so to speak. To avoid it being too strong out the gate, maybe it needs to recharge at the 3 shrines. I think it needs to go to the crashes off world before it can be used to great authority. But that doesn't mean that the voices don't tell you they'll listen. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like you can legitimize that authority by it being more powerful. But like if Xyle was like, if Xyle truly wished for the jungle to move out of their way while they were holding it, like nothing would stand in their way. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But it's like, it's not just like I say a thing and it happens. There's a lot of like force of will involved. And there's more we can do with it. But I think we have like a general idea. The players are on course to acquiring the Doom. Yes, there's a crashed Star Destroyer. And they're going to raid it and they're going to find this item. It's the plan. We just finished writing our little like sections for the Sunderer, which is our smashed up Star Destroyer that crashed. Well, Darkseid is there to take care of the amulets holder in case someone was... Yeah, well, exactly, right? Like, there's always a system of balance, right, on original poster, where, like, if something is abused, we can talk about how that abuse is, like, dealt with, But also, if we're talking about a system warlord, for example, our dear friends at Utico, if they could get control of the planet and use it to create... organic weapons and armor and ships and whatever else they might need. That's huge. It's like very, very bad for everybody. So it becomes like this MacGuffin that we can like chase after, right? It's like a game changer. Think of the fungal wood desks they could make. Yeah, all in one piece, It's grown organically from the soil. I do want to give the party some kind of like Vode tech item. You know what I mean? I want to give them a cool razor leaf sword or like, some parasitic armor, or something. A beetle launcher. Yeah, some fun. But I don't know how I would do that, and I might save that for when they go to the like depositories, I don't think I would want to give that like along with what we're already doing. Would be what I would say. Ancient Vodian voice. You didn't think we'd give anyone authority over us without taking precautions, did you? Yeah, exactly. You can just see the colors in the air as they speak. and all the colors are dark and scary. The other link we have for like off-world stuff, and something I definitely want to link back in if I can at some point when we like get off planet, our dash and the Killians, Dalhan Killian, and the ship Killian cruisers and luxuries, or whatever it is we called it, Killian cruisers and exports. I really want to link that in somewhere, but that's for down the road. That's not important right now. Okay, having the details for the Star Destroyer is great. I definitely think one of the things we should add to the Sunderer is like, if the players get here first, then once they hit their second section, they hear sounds of cutting, scraping, and general noise and activity in the distance. Utico, obviously right behind them. Upon exit, they'll have to deal with at least one squad of Utico stim thugs. Upon exit, they'll have to deal with at least one squad of Utico stim thugs, or more if they fail stealth checks. Handle that when we get there. We'll decide what is appropriate for Utico engagement. It's all be here in person. It's possible. Yeah, I think it's possible. But I think that is a judgment call to make on the day, right? Like, how much of a shitty time have the players had up until this point? If they've been cruising through here, we're gonna cause them some pain. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I forgot to save the stuff I just wrote, but it's fine. I know it in my brain. And if they're having a really bad time of it, and they decided to try and fight giant ATST hermit crab, then we'll have to we'll have to decide what we want to do about it. Like that flexibility a lot. Yeah, just being able to say, like, how do I feel the players are doing on the day? Do I need to challenge them more? Do I need to pull back? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's important when it comes to GMing, just like generally. Being flexible, being ready to like change what you're gonna do. I'm looking forward to doing the vision part, because I think I'm gonna actually get to like play a Vodian. You know, like one of our Vodian fellows will like manifest in a vision, you know, in front of Xyle, take them away, and show them the ruins as they were. I think that'll be fun. I have to think about what I'm gonna do for manner for that. Yeah. I'd love to get some sort of reference to Mabel's old boss in here somewhere. Mabel's old boss may be a season 2 villain, you know what I mean, or a season 2 engagement in general. But I think there's definitely got to be some fun connection there that I can like pull in together. Maybe not on the Sunderer, but maybe sometime soon after. Yeah, I like that. Race deets. Yeah. So race-wise, it's mostly going to be up to our team to narrate what it is they're up to, as well as their speed versus the speed of the speeders that are racing, whether they're going to like shoot those speeders or what have you, you know? Like that's pretty good, Chaotic Bastard. I may just throw that in there. Yeah. I'm not super worried about the big old details of the race because I don't think they're gonna do it. And if they do, it's the kind of sequence that I think I can oh my god, my brain. The kind of sequence that I can make my way through, improvise my way through without having to plan too much in advance. Yeah. It's a sequence that's like, okay, there are, 6 participants. We're basically speeder pod racing through the jungle. There are several hazards. You're going to make some checks. You're going to move at X speed. There are going to be X problems. Yeah, like it. Yeah. It's fine. I don't think it's going to be too bad. I definitely think that if they do it, then we'll have to think about like the racing circuit, for other planets and so forth. If they're gonna get into speeder racing as like a thing. Yeah. Okay. I feel pretty good about today. We've got some details for the Sunderer. I'm feeling good about like where we're headed. The stuff with Kryno and Zala, as well as how that relates to the Fog Wardens, I think it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. Like what Kryno does in relation to like what Yutiko wants him to do. There's a lot. There's a lot there that I think I need to unpack on like a what do the characters do sort of a basis. Cause like, yeah, if they go to kill, Panakata sort of like off screen, that could happen, and I, my knowledge thus far is that I'm not entirely sure if Gabe has the time to play in this game, like just generally. So Kryno may be handed off to me as like, take care of my character, like when you get somebody else on, So, if that happens, the Yutiko connection is gonna get spicy. That's all I gotta say. I think if I get the go ahead, I'll definitely give Kryno the old bounty hunter heel turn. But I don't know if that'll happen yet or not. So I'm mostly just like winging it based on folks' availability, so on. I think that's good. I think that's good for today. I think we got through some good stuff. We've got the Sunderer set up. We did some handouts. We've got our Vodian amulet. We've got some visions of what the future is going to look like. I love this idea of like the Vodian jungle, being connected to the Force, and then the amulet being connected to the jungle and the Force. You know what I mean? Just like lots of stuff going on. And I'm always really hype about organic tech. I don't know what it is. I just love the idea of growing your own whatever you need, Like, the computer system of this particular race is that you stick your head into a like a open flower petal plant thing, and like it reads your mind to interpret what you need it to tell you or whatever. Like this kind of shit is just awesome. So there's a lot of good potential in there. Bullet harvest is real good this year. Yeah, exactly, that kind of stuff. Although, why would you need bullets if you had a gun that was actually like a lizard or like a plant, some kind of like venom plant or something, and it just like spits or whatever? You don't need bullets. You don't need to harvest. But yeah, so that's just me being like, I love that kind of weird stuff. But I think that's gonna be me for today. Yeah, wonderful. So you can find me, Distracted Elf, at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf, where I do a bunch of stuff. Stellaris recently and Crusader Kings 3 earlier today. So that kind of stuff. I've also been doing a whole bunch of like random Warhammer painting, but not on stream, just on my Twitter. So the other thing that you should do is, if you like the stuff that we're doing here and you're like, hey, I want to be involved in like making this world and thinking about ideas and pitching stuff and whatever, we have a Discord, and you should check it out. It's a really cool place. The folks on the Discord even organized a wiki for this show, which is super cool. And then, of course, my dear friends, there's Roll20. Do you like playing games on the internet? Do you like the availability of players worldwide that you can access and play your weird, unique game that you got from the local bookstore that nobody else around where you live has heard of, but has a great cult following in Germany? Well, then you can hook up with some Germans and play whatever that game is on Roll20.net. Roll20.net. Go there, sign up for a free account, and play an esoteric tabletop game with some Germans you've never met before. Okay, bye.